Aggressively lukewarm opinion incoming. In.
So, I've never been to Disneyland. My parents just never found the time nor money to haul me over to California because they wanted to save a marginal amount of cash by just taking me to Disney World every now and then. How smart. Now, if you're like me, you would think that that's no big deal. I mean, it's Disneyland we're talking about. It's not like I'm missing out on a momentous occasion like 2016 or 9/11 or something cool like that. Well, believe it or not, I've been kindly informed by concerned individuals that I'm actually a victim in all of this. Somehow, without me ever realizing it, I've had my very own human rights violated because I didn't get the opportunity to consume products enough. And because of that, I may never be whole again unless I make the pilgrimage myself to Disneyland. And you know what? I'm going to have to consign myself to living as a mere husk, because Jesus somersaulting Christ, I ain't doing it. You know, even if the expenses were non-existent, and I could just bypass the cost of travel by teleporting at will, visiting Disneyland is so low on my list of things to try out that I'm pretty sure by the time my descendants get to that spot on the list, California will have long since been dragged into the Pacific. If only I could be so lucky to witness that. You know, the money I'd need for a trip like that to be worthwhile means I absolutely gotta get my fortune's worth. I'm expecting like a full-on immersive experience living in the Roman Empire, where everyone is expected to speak Latin and the attendees conduct another sacking of Judea. That kind of shit. Sadly, there's no theme park like that in existence. At least not right now. I'm leaving that door open for enterprising minds, fingers crossed and shit. Anyway, instead of seeing gladiator fights or crucifixions, I'd instead get to share my vacation with sweaty life-size mascots and equally sweaty sunburnt families. I may get to go on maybe 5 or 6 rides in one day. Yay! I don't know, is that the typical experience? Not out of curiosity, but simply for the sake of cold, calculated research, because I'm taking this video super seriously, as you can see. I googled how many rides in Disneyland I can expect to go on in one day, and the first video that showed up, I'm not even kidding, it's over an hour long. Like, what the fuck, dude? It's such a simple question. All you gotta do is just hold up the right amount of fingers. Hey, maybe I found a bigger waste of my time. Just the fact that there's an entire catalog of online guides to help you figure out how to have something of a decent time on your goddamn vacation goes to show how the very thought of going to Disney during my oh-so-precious time off from work defeats the whole purpose of vacation to begin with, you know? Why tear your hair out and lose sleep every night worrying about getting your projects done in time and getting your bills paid on time, when you could tear your hair out and lose sleep every night worrying about planning your time at a resort to be nothing less than perfect, lest your kids grow up hating your guts? I'd also be remiss to not mention the young adults or teenagers who go to the Disney parks behind their parents' backs and use daddy's credit card the whole way through. That's a special kind of remorselessness that deserves a spot in the Seen You Superlatives page. The part I don't understand is, you know, if you're such an entitled and bottom-feeding truant willing to show your hard-working parents who are footing the bill for your attendance at the fanciest university this side the Mississippi this much blatant disrespect, why the fuck would you go about wasting their money in the lamest way possible? I mean, it's like committing grand larceny, but instead of taking the most valuable gems in the mall you can find, you just take the equivalent in value from Spencer's merchandise. I'm telling you, man, the dedication people had to the Disney brand is really something else. I'm sure by now everyone knows what a Disney adult is. I don't really know if public opinion is generally in defense of them. Like, you know, the consensus is, well, they ain't hurting anybody, and they just like what they like, so don't judge them, man, leave them alone. Like, no, fuck you. I can still have my opinion, and it's not like I've never been questioned for liking the things I like. Everyone should be. If you get to like something for no reason, then I get to criticize it for no reason. Anyway, Disney adults are many, many things, but one thing they certainly are not is frugal. Remember how I said that making a trip to a Disney park in this day and age is pretty much guaranteed to plunge me into debt at a level my shekel-sniffing university could only dream of? Yeah, well, these cocksuckers make it their business, their pride and joy, to go to these parks every goddamn year. And they have no shame about it. They record every moment. They snap a photo at every location. They fist bump and suck off every mascot they find. And they upload it all onto their social media accounts like it's the part of their lives they're proud about the most. They make shrines devoted to their obsession. They put the Mickey Mouse logo on their fucking wedding rings. They put Marvel superheroes on the tombstones of their dead kids. I ain't making that up. Like, a couple years ago, Disney refused to allow some grieving parents to engrave Spider-Man on their dead kid's tombstone, which, yeah, that's fucked up and everything. It goes to show more than anything else that Disney doesn't give two shits about you no matter how many Funko Pops your Nana's last will and testament can buy. But is nobody else seriously gonna comment on how weird it is that the parents wanted Spider-Man on the grave in the first place? Like, if I dropped dead when I was 4 years old or whatever, I wouldn't expect my parents to go through with literally my death pit with Teletubbies paraphernalia and have the speakers on site loop silly songs with Larry until the end of time. You know, honestly, having the latter right now while I'm alive and well sounds pretty nice, not gonna lie. But back on topic. It's a goddamn religion. It makes people convulse with emotions over fucking products. They'd sooner take up arms and be driven to kill people over their precious parks closing for good than if their country was invaded or their churches were permanently closed. That is not an exaggeration. You know, why devote time and effort studying on what makes your god or country great for free when you can just be spoon-fed content from corporations that you have to pay to see? It's disgraceful. And you know what? They can't even be bothered to enjoy or sometimes even know about the more obscure and esoteric parts of the fandom. Honestly, some of Disney's earlier movies were kind of cool. But you ask any of these modern Disney fans what they think about them. Most probably couldn't even tell you what Fantasia is. Like, are you kidding? That's probably the best one they made. Oh, wait, it doesn't have marketable princesses or marketable comic relief. I don't know. I guess Leopold Stokowski ain't funny or pretty enough to qualify for that shit. You know, I guess there's Fantasia-related merchandise out there, but really, how often do you see that compared to the princesses in the comic reliefs? It might as well not exist. It's like modern Disney products were specifically designed to pull in only the most normie consumerist mamalukes mankind could conceive. And it just keeps on doubling down. Now we get to see remakes of their movies, and reboots of their movies, and more goddamn Marvel movies. You know, when are we gonna get the remakes of the Marvel movies? That's what I want to fucking know. It's just never gonna end, man. I guess I'll just be here in the meantime. Looking forward to it. I'll see you there. Bye.